Hi everyone, this is Nesreen and you're listening to Talks with Nes podcast, where we bring you stories about founders and latest insights regarding technologies, finances and business trends shaping the small businesses and startups ecosystems in Europe, Africa and the Middle East. Today, my guest is Andrea Campora. I'm so happy to have Andrea with me, who's the co-founder of Artisanatek, an online e-learning platform that brings together craftsmen and creative people wanting to learn manual skills around the same passion. Thank you so much for being with us, Andrea. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
So, Andrea, can you tell us a little bit more about Artisanatek, how it all started for you? How did you get the idea and how it was for to launch such a business and such an edtech startup?
Of course, with pleasure. I have to say that we are two people co-creating Artisanatek, my husband and myself. We are both living in France. I'm Argentinian, he's French, and all our concepts, it's made in France. So we are both very passionate for manual work and manual skills. I have a master degree in plastic arts. My husband, he is an engineer, but he also has a degree as a cabinet maker. So working with our hands is something that we both like very much. And we learn a lot via online courses and e-learning platforms. And maybe sometimes YouTube, where most of the people who are interested in this kind of stuff go looking for information. And we realized that in France, there are great craft women and craft makers, and there is a lot of people willing to share this knowledge. But sometimes when it comes to online learning, the offer wasn't very rich or wasn't very structured. So we thought that it could be interesting to create a place like Artisanatek, where these kind of skills, this kind of crafts have a space to be shared in a qualitative way. I mean, we are actually trying to make online courses that are very complete, that are very also accessible to people who are just willing to discover something new and to make some pretty objects for their daily lives and maybe even more, I don't know. But that was the first thing that started Artisanatek.
So the purpose of Artisanatek is to provide high quality courses about craftsmanship topics to people, and today your courses are provided in which language? I mean, are you just doing them in French, or are you planning to present them in other language so that they become more accessible to people around the world? What's your offer today?
For the time being, we're very focused on French language and French craftsmen and craftswomen. We're really working in a French market, which is very important to us because we're both living here. So we want to try the concept. What we realize is that sometimes when you're here in France and you want to learn something that it's related with crafts and some specific savoir-faire, like they call them here, sometimes you need to go a bit far away from the big cities. You need to go to the countryside, and which is very interesting because you discover some new places, but you also need to have you need to have the time to go there. You need to sometimes to stay and sleep for the night. The Artisanatek, what we're trying to do is to make easier for people to get access to this kind of courses, and they can even do them from home. I mean, it's complementary.
Awesome.
It's not one or the other. Our offer is trying to be complementary of these both aspects.
That's awesome, Andrea. It's wonderful. I really love your offer. Can you tell us a little bit more about the process that you go through when you're creating a product, one of your products? How do you make it happen? How do you collaborate with the craftsmen? How do you bring it to your audience? All this process, which is a little bit authentic in my sense.
Yes. I think that the thing that we are trying to do is to make our e-learning platform a place that is warm, that is human, that gives you this feeling that you are with someone really that is caring about you on the other side of the screen. Because when you are learning something that it's related with crafts and with handwork, the human contact, this part, I think that is very important. You feel it when you're doing it and when you are into the zone and working with your hands and all that. So in order to do that, we decided to do these courses into the atelier, into the real spaces where this craftsman works. So
the workshops of the craftsmen.
Yes,
so you
that's
go
it.
to the workshops of the craftsmen, and that's where you build the course with them.
Yes, I mean, we have an exchange on the phone and via email, because we create together the course. I mean, the subjects, the order, the topics that they are going to be learned and that are going to be taught. And then we take our car and we take all our stuff, lights, cameras, and all that, and we travel. Sometimes it's we have several hours of road in front of us, which is something that we actually like very much. And we spend sometimes a week, 3 or 4 days with the craftsmen in their workshops. And yes, most of the time we kind of turn everything around because we need more space to put our lights and everything, which is very fun. And they are very kind and they enjoy the process. I mean, at first it's a bit difficult, and it's our job as well to make them feel comfortable and to manage to make them talk and act naturally in front of a camera, which is something that it's not very natural for them,
easy.
because most of
it's not easy to bring them to that state and bring them in a natural state while they are being filmed, actually.
Absolutely. Most of the time they're used to work just alone in their workshops. So it's a challenging part, which I personally like very much. And so far, so good. I mean, we have very good experiences with the craftsmen and women that we met. So that's how a course. And then after this moment of filmmaking, we have another part which is a bit more hide
Technical.
from the public, which is like the editing part and all the text, because our courses, they have video, but they have a lot of text as well. So you have files and documents and sometimes sketches and things that you can download. So we try to make them very complete. So that's the whole process, I would say.
I actually like the idea of going into the workshops, into the craftsman workshops, and filming the course in this, let's say, environment, in the authentic environment. I think it brings something very different and very unique about what you can find on other platforms, like, for example, YouTube or whatever. Even though in YouTube, sometimes you have a guy repairing his car. It's not a craftsman field, but like it's a manual example of something that you can learn through YouTube. A guy repairing his car in his own garage, and honestly, that's what we like when we speak about manual skills, being or having the course in the context and in the unique environment of the guy or the women providing this course or giving us the lesson. I think it brings another dimension of appreciating the learning. And that's
Absolutely.
wonderful. So what will be your next step of growth for Artisanatek? What's coming next?
What's coming next? A lot of things. I mean, for starters, we're going to work on creating a YouTube channel, because YouTube, I think it's a great tool, and it's great that there is so much free material going on there. And we think that a lot of people who are looking for answers and tutorials are absolutely going to YouTube. So we want to be there as well, to provide some offer in YouTube videos and even interviews with our craftsmen, and so that's the next step for us. Then we're going to work with other brands as well, brands that have some interests similar to ours. So today is something very special is happening. We're going to make a collaboration with a brand that is a French brand that has a marketplace which sells creative furniture and materials for people who want to do stuff with their hands. So we're also working on some ideas for new courses. We want to try some new topics that we didn't yet, that we don't have yet. And we also want to make some level 2 of the courses we already have and that were successful. So, wow, that's a bit of a resume of everything that's going on in our heads right now.
That's awesome. Speaking of the courses that you already have, can you tell us a little bit about the topics and how many courses you have and what are the topics available for people who might be interested today to go and check them online on your platform?
Well, so far we have like 10 courses, more or less. We have subjects like restoring furniture, upholstery, basketry, which is arriving next week. We're very excited about this new course. It's going to be very, very nice. We have a flower decoration. We have a watercolor painting and what am I forgetting? Macrame. I mean, we're very orientated, like we said, crafts, handcrafts, and also decoration. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff really to make to decorate your home or your boutique or even to sell. And we also have framing, and I hope I'm not forgetting any course. But yes, I mean, those are more or less the topics we are touching right now.
And are they accessible to all levels, or is there any prerequisites to take your courses? Are they for beginners friendly or not?
Absolutely not. I mean, we are speaking English, so I have to say it. For the time being, our courses are in French and we have no subtitles. It's going to come for sure, but for the time being, you need to speak French. But you don't need any previous knowledge to do them. They are accessible to all levels, and we really go from A to Z. We try to the craftsman is always teaching the kind of materials you will need. They give you a lot of options if you don't have this kind of material, so you can just manage with what you have at home. And then we have most of the time 2 or 3 projects that you're going to do during the course, and it goes from the easiest one to the hardest one, so you can learn different techniques and improving. So it gives in total, I mean, it's like 3 or 4 hours of video. Of course, that it's cut and edited and everything. But no, you don't need any previous knowledge. Anyone can do it.
That's awesome, Andrea. Thanks so much for all those information. Now let's go deeper into your entrepreneurship journey and what happened like since 1.5 years that you're building Artisanatek. How did you manage? What are the challenges, that you have faced? The opportunities that helped you let's say, accelerate the development of Artisanatek? And how did you manage to go through all that, especially in a period where the world was functioning in a downgraded mode? Like there was lockdowns, there was COVID, pandemic, stress all over. So, launching a business in those conditions is maybe not perfect or maybe perfect. So how did you manage all your journey during 1.5 years?
I would say that we learned a lot during this 1.5 years. The first challenge we've met was to show people here in France that our concept was good enough, I would say, and that it was worth it, and that you could actually learn manual skills online, which is something that is not very easy for French people, because they are very used to the face-to-face learning in these cases, which is great, and I love it. And I think what we were trying to sell and to show is that both of these ways, the face-to-face and the e-learning, are complementary one of another. And at first, it wasn't easy to show this to our potential clients, but it wasn't easy to show it to the craftsmen and craftwomen that we wanted to work with, because they were very used to receive people in their workshops but sometimes they were questioning about the possibilities of really showing and teaching something via a video. And that was very interesting because we met our first craftsman who trust us and who allow us to make a course with him. And these first two people who were actually friends of us, we've met them before. They were like the launching yes, platform that allow us to. Yes, they allow us to show the quality of what we were trying to do, and the fact that that it was possible. I mean that of course it's not the same, and we are not trying to make it the same as face to face, but it's something new and it's something that opens possibility to a lot of people. And that was great because after that we could show the material, we could actually show the videos that we were making and saying, look, you can teach what you know. We can show it this way. You're going to touch a lot more of people because people that doesn't come to your workshop will be able to do this course. And it's very good because they actually love it. And we are not finding this challenge anymore. I mean, luckily yes, we're very grateful that we managed to do this to show that the concept was good enough. And then another challenge, yes, of course, COVID period was a bit strange, but at the same time, it helped us a lot because people were staying at home and were opening themselves as well to e-learning in ways they've never thought of doing it before. So I would say that COVID had quite a positive impact in the vision of people. Yes, in the vision of people have about e-learning. Maybe now, after COVID, once COVID is past, we need to keep working on keeping this feeling of human contact, even through a screen. So people keeps having this desire of learning via an online course. So it's a more challenging now, I would say, that it was.
You're scared of having the reverse of the situation where people spent two years of lockdowns and consuming a lot of information and a lot of data through online platforms and e-learnings. And now that we are not in lockdowns anymore, we don't want to do that because we've been fed up with it. So what you're saying is now you need to keep the momentum of bringing high quality courses, high quality contact and great services and great offers to keep the momentum of COVID, right?
Yes, and it's to keep the interesting of people into online and to also share information that is. I mean, for instance, this weekend starts a very important event in France. That is the GEMA. That is the days of métier d'art, of manual crafts, and we are sharing newsletters and we're sharing information in our social network about what our craftsmen and women who work with us are doing for these special days. So it's kind of a link between all of that. I mean, if you are near to their town and you want to go to visit them, that is great. And yes, we're trying to build this community, which is, I think, the biggest challenge for a business that is starting, to build a community that follows that likes your content, that appreciate the value you are giving, and that encourages you to grow, because alone you go nowhere.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially for online e-learning platforms or online businesses in general, where all the sales comes from B2C. It's business to customers directly. It's not a B2B type of sales channels. So, of course, you need to work a lot on building a community and building a marketing and online presence through social medias, through networking and all of that stuff, and through providing high quality contacts and bringing value to people, because that's how you build your community. So, Andrea, did you had a business knowledge or a business skills before starting Artisanatek? Did you manage to couple your skills with the skills of your co-founder in order to manage all the business operations, the strategies, and all of that stuff? Because it's very cool that you have mastery around your product and around the offers and around the type or the surface or the skills that you want to bring. But there's also the business aspect of managing a company. So how do you do that, and how was the transition for you and your co-founder?
I would say that that it's something that we are still figuring out every day. I mean, we have different cores, different things we're taking care, each one of us. I'm more in charge of the artistic visual part, and even in the filming process, I decide everything that has to do with colors, scenes, etc. Yeah. And my co-founder is more into the system part. He works a lot on the website. He gives a lot of value in the content of the course as well, into the writing part. When it comes to marketing, I think that there is where we had where we have most difficulties, because we don't have a background in marketing, and we are learning a bit every day. We found some mentors that help us. It's people we are following it's in the Spanish market, so it's people that are specialized into digital marketing, and that helps us a lot because it gives us some tricks, some reflections as well, ways to think about some problems we have. Sometimes we are learning in a way that is trial and error, and I think that for someone who doesn't have a degree in marketing and in online businesses, it's the way to learn. Maybe it's not the easiest way, but it's a way that we all have to pass by. I mean, and so far, I mean, it's very interesting because yes, because we think we feel that we are growing.
That's wonderful, because that's common for small businesses, like for founders, for young founders. When you launch a business, you don't know it all, you don't know everything. So you're learning while creating, while providing, while delivering, you know, like, and that's the biggest challenge, I think. And in that sense, having mentors helping you, being 2 or 3 people like co-founders doing the business or running the operations might be a good plus. So what would you say to to the people listening to us today? What would be your message to them? People who are wanting to launch a company, to build a business, to launch a startup with an innovative concept like Artisanatek, because honestly, bringing craftsmanship with technology and providing a recipe that combines them both to people through an affordable, accessible, and high-quality content is amazing. So what would be your message, Andrea, for people who might be interested or thinking about launching their businesses and going and following their dreams?
I would say go for it. First of all, it's very important. I think that we live once and you have to do it. But most precisely, I would say that it's very important to learn the basics. And by basics, I mean how to create a website, how a payment platform works, how to create a marketplace. I think these are things that are kind of common of any online business. So once that you have the idea, once that you have the concept, it's important that you try to learn these basics, because it will allow you to go faster. Even if you have to delegate, it will allow you to manage someone better, because you are like giving someone a task that you already know more or less how to do. So it's easier to manage someone this way. And I would say another thing is the importance of creating a community. If you can work even before launching your business into this idea of creating content, giving value, taking your time if it's to write a blog or to record a podcast and start to giving content and to create people around this content which are interested in what you do, I think that you have a very solid base to start a business. It's going to be easier, I would say.
So what would you do differently today? Like, if we do a retrospective of what happened in your journey of Artisanatek and all those advices that you're providing to the audience that are coming from your experience, your personal experience, what would you do differently today with the knowledge that you have today, that you have gained today, thinking back of when you started?
I think that the last thing I just said, it applies to ourselves. I think that I would have started creating content and trying to build a community even before launching a product. I think that could be something that I could do differently, and maybe keep it simpler. I mean, in terms of a website, for instance, with my associate, we are very perfectionist, and we always want to do more, and we always want to add something more than this plugin, and this would be very cool and in the end it complexifies sometimes the process. So I would say that to try an idea, I would keep it simpler. Yes, just lean and okay, the product, and maybe it's not great, and if it's not great, it's okay, because if you're going to wait to be great, you will never launch it. So yeah, I think that those are the two things that we could do differently. We had to start all over again today.
So to resume that, to summarize that, you would say like building a community and focusing on marketing early on, and taking things slowly and making them simpler.
Yes, a website with less functionalities.
Yes. So focusing on the essential, on and prioritizing and focusing on the essential, right?
That's it.
That's awesome, Andrea. Actually, it's a lot of interesting tips and information and advices. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And your inspiring stories about Artisanatek and about how you created it, what you're providing, how you're building your products. It's amazing. Thank you so much. One last thing, can you tell us how we can reach Artisanatek? We can reach you, how we can find your products, your awesome resources and contents that you're providing, everything about your next events or next release.
Yes, of course. You can find us in www.artisanatek.com. That's TEK at the end. And you can also find us at @Artisanatek, at Artisanatek on Facebook, Instagram, and soon YouTube as well.
Thank you. That's awesome. Again, Andrea Campora, our guest of today, speaking about Artisanatek, bringing together craftsmen and creative people around the same passion of craftsmanship through online courses and through using digital and advanced technologies. That's a very good example of how we can create amazing startups, amazing companies, amazing businesses, bring value to people, save them time, save them money, bring them amazing and cool stuff that they want to learn about to boost their creativity, and at an accessible, affordable, and very qualitative way. So thank you so much, Andrea, for being with us. We will be following Artisanatek for the long run. Good luck with everything that is coming up next for you, and let's keep in touch. Thank you.
Thanks to you. This was very nice. Thanks to you.